What's up, guys? We are back with a full slate of MLB action here on Sunday, August 10th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you think in the comments. I personally answer every comment every day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, we got off to an incredible start to the day, right off the gates, hitting that under in Game 1 of the Miami-Atlanta series. A 7-1 win there for Atlanta means we cash our under. Both starters were pretty decent, and we luckily don't get burned, even with the Braves' bats getting a little bit hot in that one. We had the Reds at -125. A nice win on that one, a very close 2-1 win, but we did see an excellent start there from Martinez as projected, and the Reds came up with just barely enough offense to eventually get the win. We had the Cubs at -115. Running it back on the Cubs, were rewarded for that. They put up a 9-1 beat down there on the Cardinals. Colin Ray was lights out over 6 innings, and the Cubs offense more than made up for getting shut out there in Game 1. We also hit the Toronto LA Dodgers over 8.5. A massive offensive game there from the Dodgers helped to get us there. A 6-run, 6th inning is a great look when you have the over. Thank you to Bassett and the Toronto bullpen for having a pretty bad time. Unfortunately, guys, that's where the hot run ended. We bricked out on Boston at +130 as our dog of the day. That was a rough way to lose. A 5-4 loss in 10 innings. Giolito got shelled. So did King. The Padres bullpen manages to do just enough, and the home team wins yet another extra inning game. So that was brutal. We also bricked out the Astros at -125. Yeah, a very tough 1-run loss in that one as well. Seems like something might be wrong with Valdez, but even his bad start didn't take them completely out of the game. Houston had a ton of chances to really blow this one open against that struggling Yankees bullpen. They just couldn't come up with any hits when they needed them the most. So a tough way to lose both the dog of the day and the lock of the day, but still, a 4-2 day overall. We are not going to complain too much about that. Let's see what we can get up to here on Sunday, guys. We've got a full slate out there, and first up, we're going to dive right in. We've got the Kansas City Royals headed to Minnesota to take on the Twins. The Royals come into Game 3 of this series fresh off a 2-0 win at 58-59 on the year. They've really got to turn it on here at some point. They'll hand the ball to Ryan Bergert in this game. He's 1-1, a 2.83 ERA since coming over there from San Diego. He's had one start, and he looked pretty good there at Fenway. 5 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs allowed. It was eventually a 6-2 loss, but that was not his fault. He'd also been looking pretty decent over there, pitching for the Padres. So, yeah, I'm expecting this young 25-year-old to continue to throw the ball pretty well. The bullpen for the Royals has not been a problem this year. It's been decent. A 3.75 bullpen ERA has held pretty steady. The offense has been a problem. Now, they made some moves around the trade deadline to try and upgrade 2-4-7, 2-5-7, and 2 over their last few games. Does not exactly make me feel like this has been a reshaped kind of offense. Still lacking a lot. So we'll see what they do here in Minnesota, taking on a Twins team that has won 3 out of their last 4. They're 55-61 on the year, so they've really got to turn it on. They're going to hand the ball here to Jose Urena. He comes into this game a 5.24 ERA. Normally a bullpen guy. Well, they're turning him into a starter. He's had a lot of movement. He was with Toronto, then he was with the Dodgers, now he's with the Twins. And yeah, we'll see how things go. His only outing for the Twins so far was a start, 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, and a 5-4 win there at Cleveland. We'll see if he can back that up with another decent appearance. The bullpen for the Twins has been a big problem this season, although down the stretch it's maybe turning it around slightly, but still a 4.36 bullpen ERA does not fill me with optimism. The offense 0-9-9, 6-3, and 5 over their last few games. They've been swinging some pretty hot bats, but getting blanked there yesterday does not make me feel great. Wallner going there on the paternity list. That's not ideal for them at this point in the season. They're 19th in batting average as a team. They're 20th in runs scored. This is not a very potent offense. Look at the numbers, guys. The Royals are -108. The Twins are -108, so a coin flip according to the books. We've got a total of 9.5 out there. The Royals 30-31 on the road, 31-29-1 to the under on the road. Minnesota's 31-25 at home, 28-26-2 to the under at home. I actually think this is a very good spot to back under 9.5, just because I think neither one of these teams are very good at the offensive portion of baseball. So we'll see if that play can work out for us. In terms of a side, it feels pretty flippy to me. I will back Bergert. I think he's the better starter in this spot, but really, guys, not a lot from this game is making it to the pinned comment. Next on the docket, we've got the Cincinnati Reds headed to Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates. The Reds, 61-57 on the year. They're 12 games back now of the streaking Brewers, but they've got plenty of hope there in the wild card hunt. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Zach Littell. He comes in this game 9-8 on the year, a 3.46 ERA, and my twin brother, he went out there and had himself a hell of a first start in his new uniform. First time wearing that Reds uniform, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run allowed, and a 5-1 win there against the Cubs. He also struck out 8 in that game. Very, very good stuff. So we'll see what he does here against the Pirates. But they are not nearly as scary at the plate as the Cubs. I'm expecting a very good start here from Zach Littell. The Reds bullpen has been turning things back around. They've been up and down like a yo-yo this season. Well, this seems like one of those, I guess, ups, depending on how you want to look at it. They're down to a 3.99 bullpen ERA. They've been looking pretty good. Going against the Pirates helps with that as well. The offense, though, 2-2-0-1 over their last few games. I do think they'll pop back off. I think they're significantly better than this at the plate. They're all the way down to 12th in the majors in runs scored and 20th in slugging percentage, though, so not exactly killing it. We'll see what they can do here on the road against the Pirates, who are 51-67 on the year. They have won 2 out of the first 3 in this series. They're going to hand the ball to Mike Burrows in this game. He's 1-4, a 4.45 ERA. This young 25-year-old coming off a pretty rough showing there against the Giants where he got shelled. A bit of a downturn after a couple good starts in a row. We'll see what he can do here against the Cincinnati Reds. Not a team he's faced yet this year, and not the easiest outs, although, they've been swinging some pretty cold bats. So we'll see how that goes. The Pirates bullpen, a 3.88 bullpen ERA is not incredible, and they've had some struggles recently, but nothing too major. The offense is where this team has really been sunk this season. 1-3, 7, 2, 1, and 5 over their last few games is actually relatively hot hitting for a team that is last in the majors in runs scored and last in slugging percentage. So looking at the numbers here, guys, I'm getting the feeling that maybe they're not fully updated yet. I mean, this is like kind of very much first look kind of numbers, but right now, the odds makers, we got more books posted in that. It's listed as a coin flip, guys. We definitely, the Reds are minus 110, the Pirates are minus 110, total of 8 out there. Cincinnati's 28-31 on the road, 33-25-1 to the under on the road. The Pirates 34-28 at home, 33-28-1 to the under at home. I don't despise under 8 in this game, but I don't love it enough to do anything with it. I will be slamming it here on the Reds at minus 110. This will certainly go in the pin comment. It's not going to be the lock of the day, but it's definitely one of my favorite picks out there. I think the Reds are in great shape in this matchup, especially with Littell on the mound. Next on the docket, we've got the Houston Astros headed to New York to take on the Yankees. The Astros came up short for us yesterday. Pretty devastating stuff there in that 5-4 loss at Yankee Stadium. They'll hand the ball in Game 3 of the series to Jason Alexander. He's sporting a 5.97 ERA. His last start, though, he was great. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed in an 8-2 win against Miami. The last 5 times he's been on the mound, not all of which have been starts, just for the record, the Astros are 4-1. So that's worth something, is worth a ton. We'll see what he can do here against the Yankees. Does he have any history against the Yankees this season? No history against the Yankees. So we'll see how that goes. The Astros bullpen's been solid this year, a 3.30 bullpen ERA. That's not our big concern. The big concern is what's going to happen with the offense, guys. They're currently second in the majors in batting average, 8th in on-base percentage, but 17th in runs scored. And this is a team that just seems to struggle to get runs across the plate. I mean, 4, 5, 4, 7, 8, and 1 over their last few games. Doesn't fill me with tons of optimism here as they take on the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. They will be handing the ball in this game to Max Fried. He's, as a team, they're 62-55 on the year. They need everyone they can get. Fried is 12-4 this season, a 2.78 ERA, coming off a pretty mediocre start there against the Rangers. 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs given up. Over his last 5 starts, none of them have been that amazing. He's given up 4, 2, 4, 3, and 3 earned runs in those 5 respectively. The Yankees are only 2-3 over that span, so not exactly in love with what we've been seeing here from Max Fried down the stretch. Not a great look. Obviously, the Yankees bullpen's had tons of trouble down the stretch this season. That's a big weakness right now, and the offense 5-3-3, 0-5-3-0 over their last few games. That's a rough look. So is Mariano Rivera tearing his Achilles during the Old Timers game, but hey, as an old timer that plays sports, that's something I'm scared of on a weekly basis when I go play basketball. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Astros are plus 170. The Yankees are minus 205. Got a total of 9 out there. Houston's 30-28 on the road, 27-26-5 to the over on the road. The Yankees are 35-23 at home, 31-25-1 to the under at home. I actually think the under isn't out of the question in this game. Now, I don't love Jason Alexander on the mound too much, but that Astros bullpen's very good. So give me a just tiny slice here of the Astros at plus 170. I'm not loving what I'm seeing from Max Fried right now. Hey guys, hopping here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers, guys. We got a great group over there. Right now, our premium members, they're getting daily MLB, UFC, and NFL preseason picks with NFL regular season and college football coming up fast. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last several years in a row and has had a great 2025 season so far. At stumpthespread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there. Our free-to-use bet size calculator, which I explicitly recommend you use to make sure you're not busting your bankroll on some crazy weekend of games that just don't happen to go your way. Also, there are exclusive free picks that are posted there every single day that aren't, on in these videos. Also, guys, you got to get over there to see our premium top confidence picks. They do not usually match. Some of them will, obviously, but they don't necessarily match what you see here in the video, as I'm not the premium MLB handicapper over there at Stump the Spread. Also, guys, there are a plethora of other sports being covered right now. I know there were a ton of UFC picks. I don't really know how those went. I don't follow UFC. I have no idea what half those bets even mean, so I don't know what's going on there. But also a bunch of NFL preseason. I know NFL preseason got off to a 2-0 start. There's a bunch of games still going on right now. I don't know how those have gone, but there's a ton of great information over there. We got an entire, team of experienced cappers breaking down all those games for you. You definitely want to get in on those. And the premium MLB picks, I can tell you for a fact, I know how those games have gone here on August 9th. The Astros was a loss. There's a 1-unit play, so a 1-run loss on that one. The Cubs were a 1.5-unit play. That one cashed super easy. The Red Sox, that was a 0.75, so a 3/4 of a unit play. They lost, but obviously a 1-run loss there as well. The Dodgers cashed easily as a 2-unit play, and the Guardians came through as a big 3-unit play. So a nice winning day there on MLB at a minimum, and there was tons of other premium content out there. So definitely get over there, check out the premium stuff. It's a great value, and you got to go over there to stumpthespread.com to get on that free email list, which is a pretty insane value. It's free. There will be at least one, oftentimes 2 free picks in that email every single day. All stumpthespread.com needs is your name and your email address to set up a free account. So click that link down in the description, get over there to stumpthespread.com and get on that email list. And also, if you're having trouble getting the emails, just check your spam folder. That's usually what the problem is. Also, guys, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to become a YouTube channel member. YouTube channel members get exclusive early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every video, and they also get access to our members-only giveaways. We'll be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie here on August 11th, giving away another free hoodie. And hey, if you're a YouTube channel member, get down there in the comments and comment every day. And you never know, I might just be tossing out a free hoodie or two to some of my long-term members. I know some of you guys have been around for 10 plus months, a year. You're probably in line to potentially just get a free hoodie if you're down there in the comments every day. So definitely do that, guys. But we're going to go ahead and dive back in. We've got a ton of games here to cover on a packed Sunday. And next up, we've got the Miami Marlins headed to Atlanta to take on the Braves. The Marlins and Braves just played a double header there yesterday in Atlanta, and the Marlins lost both games. Now, we did cash the under on the first game there, so slam that thumbs up button, guys, if you enjoyed cashing the under in game 1 of that doubleheader. Now, in game 4, or what is this? Wait, is this game 5? I guess it's kind of like game 5 of the series because they had that makeup game. The Marlins are going to hand the ball to Cal Quantrill, who's 4-9 this season, a 5.21 ERA. His last start, he got shelled by Houston, but he had been throwing the ball really well in his 3 starts before that. So we'll see what he can do here against the Atlanta Braves, a team that he faced back in April, and it was actually lights out. That was a long time ago, though, so let's not overreact to that. The Marlins bullpen, it's been headed a bit in the wrong direction here recently, but they were showing signs of promise. There's some decent arms out there, but it's not a bullpen I'm in love with. The offense, 6-1, 5, 6, 6, and 3 runs over their last few games. I mean, there's a reason this team is 57-60 on the year. They're not terrible, but they're also not amazing. Right now, they're 9th in batting average, 17th in slugging percentage, but 19th in the majors in runs scored. So we'll see what they do here in Atlanta. The Braves have actually won 3 out of their last 4. I mean, those were all, in this long series. They're giving the ball in this one to Joey Wentz. He comes into this game, sporting a 5.34 ERA. His last 4 outings have been starts. I would say 2 of those went really well. 2 of those went really bad. His last time on the mound, he got shelled by Milwaukee. He also got shelled by the Rangers, but had good starts against the Royals and the Yankees. So we'll see what that translates into. I will mention the Braves are 0-4 over those starts. So we'll see how that goes. The Braves bullpen hasn't been very good. A 4.07 bullpen ERA is not great. They've been a little bit better recently, but what's really been better is their offense is just kind of going nuts. 8-7-1, 8-4-2 over their last few games is great for a team that's 25th in the majors in runs scored and 22nd in slugging percentage. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Marlins are plus 110. The Braves are minus 130. We've got a total of 8.5. Miami's 29-29 on the road, 29-27 2 to the over on the road. Atlanta's 29-30 at home, 32-23 4 to the under at home. I think this is a pretty reasonable spot to back the Marlins here at plus 110. Not loving Joey Wentz on the mound. Maybe not a disaster spot, but not loving that. Neither bullpen's very good. Quantrill, I think, is in a bounce back spot here, and I think the Marlins offense is due to pop off a little bit, so give me the Marlins here at plus 110 as a potential dog of the day. Rolling right along here, guys, we've got the Sacramento Athletics headed to Baltimore to take on the Orioles. The Athletics got the 11-3 win there yesterday. They're 1-1 so far in this series. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Luis Morales. This young 22-year-old hasn't figured in a result this year. He's sporting a 4.50 ERA after one bullpen outing where he went 2 innings, gave it 3 hits and 1 earned run in a 5-1 win there against the Diamondbacks. So we'll see what he can do here in a starting role. If this turns out to be like a true bullpen experience there for the Athletics, they've been one of the worst bullpens in the majors, so that's a huge problem. The offense coming off an 11-run game has to feel good, but they've been wildly inconsistent at the plate, and while they're 7th in batting average, 5th in slugging percentage, somehow this offense still doesn't exactly terrify me, but maybe it'll terrify the Orioles, who come into this game 53-64 on the year, not exactly killing it down the stretch. They'll hand the ball in this game to KennyGPoker, who's 2-6 this season, a 5.25 ERA. He hasn't had an amazing season, got knocked around pretty roughly there at the Phillies his last time on the mound. He did look okay in a long relief appearance, I suppose, but yeah, has not been having an amazing time. Also has had some injuries this season, so we'll cut him a little bit of slack, but not loving KennyGPoker in general. The Baltimore bullpen's been pretty bad this year as well, and the offense has taken a nosedive compared to last year. I mean, currently they're 20th in batting average, 18th in runs scored. They were not buyers at the trade deadline, I'll tell you that. O'Neill to the IL, like this is a team with a lot of moving parts and they're not moving in a positive direction. So looking at the numbers, the Athletics are plus 110, the Orioles are minus 130. We've got a total of 9 out there. The Athletics are 29-33 on the road, 30-26-6 to the over on the road. Baltimore's a 500 team at home, 30-24-2 to the over at home. I don't think over 9 is out of the question in this game, especially in a day game on a Sunday. I'm not necessarily in love with that, but I think it is live. I also don't mind fading KennyGPoker here. Morales is kind of still an unknown, so this isn't a play that's going in the pinned comment, but if you're begging me for a side, I will take the Athletics. Next up, we're looking at the Los Angeles Angels, headed to Detroit to take on the Tigers. The Angels come into this game 56-61 on the year after winning 7-4 there yesterday. In this game, they're going to hand the ball to Jack Kohanowitz. He's 3-9 on the season, a 5.85 ERA. His last time on the mound, 6 innings, 9 hits, 5 earned runs allowed in a game we eventually see the Angels win 8-5. Was it his fault? I would say no. Over his last few starts, he has not been exactly amazing. Did have a stint on the IL mixed in there, so we'll see what Kohanowitz looks like. I'm not expecting miracles from him here. The Angels' bullpen's been one of the worst bullpens in the majors this season, so that's another non-miracle expecting kind of spot. And the offense, while there's plenty of pop out there for the Angels, I mean, they're still currently, 13th in slugging percentage? So that number's actually trending in the wrong direction too. But, I mean, 7, 5, 4, 3, 5, and 8 over their last few. This is the worst offense out there, but it's definitely not the best. So we'll see what they can get after here against the Tigers, who are still 5 games up there on the Cleveland Guardians in a kind of down AL Central. They're not playing their best ball down the stretch. I will definitely say that. They're going to hand the ball here to Casey Mize, who's 10-4 this season, a 3.50 ERA. His last start, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, allowed in a 6-3 win against the Twins. Over his last 5 starts, I would say 2 of them were, that's the All-Star game, guys. Just kidding. That's not a real start. So, yeah, Mize has not been throwing the ball amazing, I'll be honest. So we'll see what he can do. The Detroit bullpen's been a huge problem down the stretch. That's a concern. And the offense, 4-6, 4-3, and 6 over their last few games is not hitting the cover off of the ball for a team that was very good at the plate for the majority of the season, but is fading here down the stretch. Looking at the numbers, the Angels are plus 180. The Tigers are minus 220. We've got a total of 9 out there. The Angels are 26-31 on the road, 30-25-2 to the over on the road. Detroit is 38-24 at home, 29-28-5 to the over at home. I'll be honest, I was hoping that we could maybe take the Tigers here at minus 220 as our lock of the day, but I'm just not seeing it with how Mize is throwing the ball right now. So I will lean towards Detroit just a little bit, maybe a little bit towards that over 9, but this is not a game where I'm showing much value. Rolling along, we've got the Cleveland Guardians headed to Chicago to take on the White Sox. The Guardians at 61-55 are on a bit of a streak. They've won their last 5 in a row and 9 of their last 10 overall. They'll hand the ball in this one to Slade Ciccone, who's 5-4 this year, a 3.72 ERA. His last start, pretty solid. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned, and was eventually a 7-6 extra inning win there at the Mets. Over his last 5 starts, we've seen Cleveland go 4-1, so that's a little bit encouraging for sure. And going up against the White Sox here, I would assume he's not too scared. He hasn't faced them yet this season, though. The Cleveland bullpen has been getting better and better down the stretch this year. A 3.53 bullpen ERA is excellent, and the offense, 3-9-4-3-7 over their last few games. Maybe not destroying the baseball, but pretty good for a team that's last in batting average and 26th in runs scored. They're swinging some pretty hot bats. So we'll see what they do here in Chicago, taking on the White Sox, who are 42-75 on the year. They've lost 6 straight games. They'll hand the ball in this one to Davis Martin. This 28-year-old is 3-9 on the year, a 4.11 ERA. His last start, he got shelled there in Seattle. Did have a decent start against the Phillies the other day, but hasn't exactly been killing it. We'll see what he can do against the Guardians, not the scariest team at the plate, but they're swinging some pretty hot bats, so he should probably be at least a little bit worried. And that White Sox bullpen, I mean, they've been less bad than I would have expected this year, a 3.82 bullpen ERA, but definitely not a lockdown unit. And the offense, 1-5-3, 6-3, and 5 over their last few games is honestly pretty hot hitting for a team that's 27th in runs scored, and 29th in batting average, and 29th in slugging percentage. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Guardians are -140. The White Sox are +118, a total of 8.5 in this game. Cleveland's 32-28 on the road, 31-24-5 to the under on the road. The White Sox are 24-34 at home, 30-23-5 to the over at home. I certainly think this is a good spot to back Cleveland. They're playing desperate baseball right now. They're playing really, really well at the moment. They know they've got to play incredibly well here down the stretch if they want to have a chance. And right now, the Guardians, I mean, they find themselves only a half game back of the Yankees there in the wild card hunt in the American League. So yeah, definitely give me the Guardians here at -140. I think this is a very solid play. Next up, guys, we've got a pretty interesting match. We've got the New York Mets going on the road to take on the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, the Mets, straight up not having a good time, losers of 6 straight games, now 4.5 games back of the Phillies in the NL East. They'll hand the ball to Sean Manaea in this game, who's 1-1, a 3.52 ERA. He'd been looking incredibly good since coming off the IL, but his last start, not so good. 5 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs allowed in a 7-6 extra inning loss. So that's pretty brutal. That being said, he has, in general, been throwing the ball really well since coming off the IL. So I think he'll bounce back pretty well in this game. I do expect the Mets bullpen to continue to, be decent, maybe not elite. In the offense, they're going to have to figure something out. 4, 2, 1, 2, 6, 4, and 12 over their last few games. They're all the way down to 15th in the majors in runs scored and 23rd in batting average. That is pretty bonkers for a team that's been built like this. So we'll see what they can do in Milwaukee to take on the Brewers, who have won 8 straight games now. They'll hand the ball to Quinn Priester, who's 11-2 on the year, a 3.15 ERA. This kid has been nuts, coming off a 7-inning, 2-hit, 1 earned run start there against the Atlanta Braves, where we see the Brewers eventually win 3-1. Over his last 5 starts, the Brewers are 5-0. Can't really argue too much with that. Going up against the Mets, we don't have any history, but this kid has been crazy good. Oh my God, how many in a row is that? 10, 11, 12? The Brewers have won in his last 12 starts. That's bonkers. So that's obviously great news if you're a Brewers fan. The Milwaukee bullpen, maybe not amazing, but it's shown improvement down the stretch, and the offense is doing its thing. 7-3, 5-7-3, and 14 over their last few games. They're 6th in the majors in runs scored, 3rd in batting average. I don't think we're too worried about the Mizorowski situation either. Seems like he's probably going to come back and be okay. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Mets are +105 with Manaea on the mound. The Brewers are -125, got a total of 8.5. The Mets are 25-33 on the road, 31-24-3 to the under on the road. The Brewers are 38-20 at home, 32-25-1 to the under at home. I think this is an excellent game to back under 8.5. I think we'll see Manaea bounce back and Priester be as good as he always is. So definitely look at under 8.5 here. I think we'll see very little offense. In terms of a side, I will take the Brewers. They're playing at home. These winning streaks aren't happening on accident. This is an elite team, and that Mets offense is slumping. So definitely think the under and the Brewers are great plays for this game. Hopping right into the next game, we've got the Philadelphia Phillies headed to Texas to take on the Rangers. Now, the Phillies have won both of the first 2 games of the series, winning 9-1 in Game 1, and then a very close 3-2 win there in Game 2. So we'll see what the Phillies can do in this one, handing the ball to Zach Wheeler. He's had a very good year, 9-5, a 2.64 ERA, but his last couple of starts, not looking so great. Struggling against the Yankees, struggling against Detroit. We'll see if he can bounce back here a little bit against the Rangers, but it's looked a little bit rocky down the stretch here for Zach Wheeler, so we'll see how it goes. He hasn't faced the Rangers yet this year, so it could be a bit sketch. Obviously, the Phillies' bullpen's been a problem all year long. We're not going to dive too deep into that. Their bullpen sucks. Offensively, 3, 9, 1, 5, 13, 2, and 5 over their last few games. Paints a picture to me of kind of a team that just is inconsistent at the plate. Now, this squad is 4th in batting average, 9th in slugging percentage, and 9th in runs scored in the majors. So we're not too worried about him, but it's a tough team to be betting on a nightly basis because, you never really know what you're going to get from them at the plate. So we'll see what they do against the Rangers, who have lost 3 straight. At 60-58 on the year, they've got a lot of work to do. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Patrick Corbin, though. He's 36 years old. This lefty has been pretty reliable this year. 6-7, a 3.91 ERA. His last few starts, status quo. 3, 2, 1, 0, and 2 earned runs respectively. The Rangers are 4-1 over those starts, so very good stuff there. He wasn't very good as last time on the mound, I will say that. Struggling against the Yankees, so we'll see if he can bounce back here against the Phillies, not a team he's faced this season. Now, whenever Corbin does have to come out of the game, the Rangers can definitely depend on their bullpen. The third best bullpen, actually tied for second best bullpen in all of Major League Baseball right now, and they've been great all season. The offense looks like it's struggling again. 2, 1, 2, 2, 8, 4, and 6 over their last few games. This is not a behemoth offensive team, guys. They're 23rd in runs scored, 28th in batting average. This is a team that struggles at the plate. So looking at the numbers, the Phillies are minus 155. The Rangers are plus 130. We've got a total of 8 in this game. The Phillies are 30-28 on the road, 34-21-3 to the under on the road. The Rangers are 36-23 at home, 38-20-1 to the under at home. With these kind of trends towards the under, we can't ignore them. We have to lean at least slightly, if not significantly, towards under 8 in this game. In terms of a side, I like the Rangers a lot more than I like the Phillies. Wheeler's been struggling recently. I expect a bounce back here from Corbin, or at least some sort of bounce back. And yeah, the Phillies offense could just evaporate in this game. So definitely give me the Rangers here as a significant dog. Rolling along, guys, we've got the Washington Nationals headed to San Francisco to take on the Giants. The Nationals at 46-70 on the year aren't having a great time, but they did win game 2 of this series at 4-2. They'll hand the ball here in game 3 to Mackenzie Gore, who's 4-12 on the year, a 4.29 ERA. His last start back on the 5th, 3 innings pitched, 12 hits, and 8 earned runs allowed. His last couple of outings have been just atrocious. So we'll see if he can bounce back. He needs it in a big, big way. Maybe going up against the Giants can help make that happen. We'll see. The last time he faced the Giants was back in May, and he was great in that outing. So it's definitely not impossible. The bullpen for the Nationals, though, there's nothing going to save them. A 5.88 bullpen ERA is the worst in all of Major League Baseball. The offense, 4-0-0-2, 7-3-2 over their last few games. Pretty abysmal. They're down to 21st in the majors in runs scored, 21st in batting average. All these hitting numbers, guys, are trending in the wrong direction. So we'll see what they do here against the Giants, who come into this game fresh off that loss. A tough loss, and at 59-58 on the year, this team, guys, has really underwhelmed after a very, very hot start. I mean, right now, they find themselves 4 games back in the wild card there in the National League. So definitely major concerns there for this Giants team. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Justin Verlander, who's 1-8 on the year, a 4.29 ERA. That being said, he's been throwing the ball incredibly well over his last 3 starts, albeit that's 1 start against Atlanta and back-to-back starts against the Pirates. So let's not overreact too much. But he's been throwing the ball well, getting good results. We'll see what he can do here against the Nationals, not a team he's faced this season. Obviously, the Giants' bullpen still very solid. Second best in the majors, or tied for second best in the majors in bullpen ERA. The offense for this team, though, is atrocious. 2-5-4-8, 4-12 over the last few games is pretty hot hitting for a team that got off to a hot start, but is all the way down to 21st in the majors in runs scored and 25th in batting average. Looking at the numbers, guys, the Nationals are plus 118. The Giants are minus 140. We've had a total of 8 in this game. Washington is 24-34 on the road, 29-26-3 to the over on the road. The Giants are 29-27 at home, 34-21-1 to the under at home. No major lean in this game, not showing a ton of value, but I do slightly like the Nationals at plus 118. I mean, the Giants tend to lose when Verlander's on the mound. That's enough of a trend for me in a game where I really don't think, there's a big edge. Next up, we're looking at the Boston Red Sox, headed to San Diego to take on the Padres. Rough stuff out there in that Red Sox game. I mean, I guess the cool thing for us was Machado's hidden ball trick failing, but yeah, the Red Sox eventually end up losing that game 5-4 and costing us on our dog of the day. They're going to try to bounce back, handing the ball to Brian Bello. He's 8-5 on the year, a 3.03 ERA. His last start, 6 innings, 1 run, and it was unearned in an 8-5 win against the Royals. Very good stuff there. I would say his last 2 starts in a row at least have been excellent. We'll see what he can do here against the Padres. Obviously not the scariest team at the plate, so I'm expecting Bello to be pretty much fine out there, and that Boston bullpen's been excellent down the stretch as well. 5th best in the majors, a 3.39 bullpen ERA. The offense, 4-10-3, 6-8, 6-7, and 2 runs over their last few games. They're currently 4th in the majors in runs scored, 6th in batting average. Their slugging percentage is .431. Very, very dangerous team at the plate. So we'll see if they can get after it here against these Padres, who have won 3 out of their last 4. They're 65-52 on the year, only 3 games back of the Dodgers there in the suddenly very competitive NL West. They're going to hand the ball to Dylan Cease, who's 4-10 this season, a 4.60 ERA. Although his last start, 5 innings, 1 hit, 9 strikeouts, no runs allowed there in a 7-3 win against the Cardinals. A big bounce back after getting shelled there by the Mets. So we'll see which version of Cease we get here. I'm always going to be a bit worried with him at the mound. We'll see what he can do here against the Red Sox. The Padres bullpen, though, it's been lights out. A 3.07 bullpen ERA, that's tops in the majors. The offense for this team has been pretty mediocre all year long. They're coming off a 5-run game, which is honestly pretty good for a team that's 23rd in the majors in runs scored and 25th in slugging percentage. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Red Sox are plus 118. The Padres are minus 140. We've got a total of 8 in this game. Boston's 26-30 on the road, 30-25-1 to the over on the road. The Padres are 36-20 at home, 31-23-2 to the under at home. I mean, we may end up running it back. We've ran it back 2 days in a row on different teams. We cashed both of those. We might run it back here on the Boston Red Sox at plus 118. Not loving what I'm seeing from Cease necessarily. Bellows looked pretty good. I think Boston's in excellent shape to potentially win this game. Okay, guys, we're back after whatever technical difficulties just made my entire computer shut down and my entire setup turn off. But we are back. We're going to break down the Colorado Rockies taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Sorry if the audio and visual are out of sync. I assume you guys mostly just listen to me and aren't staring at my lips move, but we will see what goes on with the rest of this video. Hopefully it looks a little bit more smooth, but we're currently looking at the Colorado Rockies headed to Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks. Now, the Rockies come into this game not having the best time, losing 6 straight games. This is one of the worst teams in recent memory out there in the MLB. They're going to hand the ball to Tanner Gordon in this game. He got shelled his last 2 times out there, this young 27-year-old. I say young, that's a little bit generous for a 27-year-old. 2-4 on the season, a 6.59 ERA. He has been struggling. The Rockies bullpen's one of the worst in the majors, a 5.48 bullpen ERA, and the offense is also one of the worst in the majors, guys. Currently 29th in the majors in runs scored. They scored 5, 1, 1, 4, 1, and 5 over their last few games, all of which were losses. So we'll see what they can do here against the Diamondbacks, who are 56-61 on the year. They were big time sellers there at the trade deadline, so it looks like they're looking to head in the negative direction. Although they've won their last 2 games, they're going to hand the ball here to Brandon Pfaadt, who is 11-7 this season, fresh off of a not too terrible start there against the Padres. 5 and 2 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs allowed. A nice bounce back after a terrible start against Detroit, but he's honestly been throwing the ball really well. 4 out of his last 5 starts have been excellent, so that's a big positive. A big negative is the bullpen for Arizona. That's been a big problem for them all year long. Nothing has changed on that front. The offense, 6-6, 2, 5, and 6 over their last few games. They're not swinging the bats like this is a gutted offense. They are swinging the bats like they're still pretty solid up there at the plate. So looking at the numbers, guys, the Rockies are plus 215. Diamondbacks are minus 267. We got a total of 9 out there. Colorado's 14-43 on the road. That's an MLB worst road mark. 34-23-1 to the under on the road. Arizona's 29-30 at home. 28-27-4 to the over at home. Guys, this is definitely a spot I'm going to be taking the Diamondbacks at minus 267. This could end up being our lock of the day. I'm going to be 100% honest. I like Pfaadt on the mound. He's been throwing the ball well. Obviously, Tanner Gordon and the Rockies have been atrocious. Taking a team to win their 3rd straight game on a Sunday does seem a little bit sketchy, but Arizona is still kind of trying to win. Looks like the Rockies, I don't even know what they're trying to do at this point. So give me the Diamondbacks in this one as big favorites. Next on the docket, we've got the Tampa Bay Rays headed to Seattle to take on the Mariners. The Rays and Mariners actually just finished up their current game with the Rays losing 7-4. Tampa Bay at 57-61 have to be pretty disappointed with how this season's going to end. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Adrian Hauser, who's 6-3 on the year, a 2.54 ERA. They picked him up and didn't have a great time in his first start after coming over from the White Sox. 5 and 2 innings, 11 hits, and 5 earned runs surrendered in a 5-1 loss there at the Angels. Not great. The dude did throw the ball really well there for the White Sox, so we'll see if he can get back on the horse and look a little bit better in this outing. He's probably going to need to do that pretty significantly. The Tampa Bay bullpen, while it's been decent this season, hasn't looked the sharpest lately, and the offense, that's been the real problem. 4, 2, 5, 7, 1, 0, and 4 over their last few games. Just not good enough. This team was looking at top 5-ish good in terms of, just overall offensive production, but that did not really hold up here over their last, 20 or so games. So it's been a little bit rough out there for Tampa Bay at the plate. Will it get better here in Seattle? Well, the Mariners at 65-53 on the year are only a half game back of the Astros in the AL West. They've won their last, what is it up to now? 6 straight games. They'll hand the ball to Brian Wu in this game. He's 9-6 on the year, a 3.02 ERA. He's fresh off a great start against the White Sox. 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run allowed. A huge bounce back after a terrible start there against the Athletics. So we'll see what he can do. Going 7 innings in the game is a little bit deep into the game for Wu. The last time he went that deep was right before the All-Star break, and he followed that up with a terrible start against Houston. He went 7 innings in a start against Boston back in June, and then backed up with a pretty good start. So we're not terribly worried about Wu in this game. I think he's going to go out there and be pretty good. The bullpen for the Mariners has been solid all year long. That's not a concern for this team. And the offense seems like it's woken up a bit more. 7, 3, 4, 8, 8, and 5 over their last few games is definitely not bad. Cal Raleigh getting back after it, hit his 44th home run. He's been swinging the bat pretty well. They're 10th in the majors in runs scored, 18th in batting average, 10th in slugging percentage. This is definitely a dangerous team. So looking at the numbers, guys, the Rays are plus 155. The Mariners are minus 190. We've had a total of 7.5 out there. Tampa Bay is 25-30 on the road, 31-22 2 to the under on the road. Seattle's 35-25 at home, 29-27 4 to the over at home. I'll be leaning a bit towards the Mariners at minus 190 in this game just because I don't trust Hauser after what he did his last time out. I think Wu's going to throw the ball really well. That Tampa Bay offense continues to struggle. This is a slight lean towards the Mariners, and minus 190 is a very expensive price. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we've got the Toronto Blue Jays headed to LA to take on the Dodgers. Now, the Blue Jays come into this game fresh off a 9-1 loss. They, saw Ohtani hit his 40th home run in that game, and they're looking real bad in this series so far. They're going to hand the ball to Eric Lauer here in Game 3. He's 7-2 on the year, a 2.59 ERA. His last time on the mound, he came through for us with a big 15-1 win. A great performance there against the Rockies team that he apparently struggled against in the distant past. He was very good his last time on the mound, though. So definitely good to see that. We'll see what he can do against the Dodgers. I mean, this guy has had a really good year. He hasn't faced the Dodgers, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm expecting Lauer to be good out there. The Toronto bullpen is kind of another story. They've been floundering down the stretch. That's a big concern for this team if they do end up, playing some pretty serious playoff baseball down at the end of the year. They still got a 3-game lead over Boston. They have to figure out how to hit the ball again, though. After going nuts against the Rockies, they've scored 2 runs through the first 2 games here against the Dodgers. So we'll see what they can do in Game 3. The Dodgers have to feel great winning the first 2 games of the series. They've still got a 3-game lead over the Padres there in the NL West. They'll hand the ball in this one to Tyler Glasnow. He is 1-1, a 3.06 ERA. Last time on the mound, 7 dominant innings there in St. Louis, against St. Louis. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, and a 3-2 loss. So we'll see what ends up happening in this one, but I'm expecting Glasnow to go out there and be pretty darn good. The bullpen for the Dodgers continues to be an issue. Are they getting better? Maybe. Are they great? Certainly not. The offense, though, 9-5-3, 12-2, 3. Seems like they're kind of figuring things out. Ohtani obviously hitting the cover off the ball right now, but that's nothing new. They're first in the majors in runs scored, 5th in batting average, 2nd in slugging percentage, so I'm not shocked to see them as big favorites in this game, but the Blue Jays are plus 158. The Dodgers are minus 190. We've got a total of 8.5. Toronto is a 500 road team, 30-27-3 to the over on the road. The Dodgers, 37-23 at home, 34-24 2 to the over at home. I definitely think over 8.5 here on a Sunday game is certainly alive and well in this one. I think we could see plenty of offense. I also, in terms of a side, guys, I'll take the Blue Jays at plus 158. That's a very good price. Lauer on the mound is a big, big plus for this team. I don't see them losing 3 in a row. I think those bats are going to be completely silent. Glasnow's good. He's not great. I definitely think Toronto has a very real shot to win this game. Last but not least, we're looking at the Sunday Night Baseball matchup between the Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cubs came back for us there yesterday and blew out St. Louis, getting the 9-1 win after letting us down in Game 1, losing 5-0. They'll hand the ball here in Game 3 to Shota Imanaga. He comes in this game 8-4 on the year, a 3.12 ERA. He's fresh off a very good start against Cincinnati. 6 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. That was a weird game where we saw the Cubs bullpen really let go of the rope, but hey, they will take they'll take that kind of start from Imanaga here once again. We'll see what he can do against the Cardinals. He faced them earlier this year and was dominant over 5 innings and a 3-0 win. So I'm not too worried about Imanaga in this particular matchup. The Cubs bullpen has been decent this year, not amazing down the stretch, but still not a huge worry. The offense coming off a 9-run game looks great for sure. They're currently all the way up to 3rd in the majors in runs scored, 3rd in slugging percentage as well. This is a very dangerous team at the plate, and they're taking on a Cardinals team that's not having a great time down the stretch. Donovan getting scratched there due to groin tightness, so that's not good, and they're a 500 team. They've got an awful lot of work to do if they want any shot of postseason play. They're going to hand the ball to the guy who's supposed to be their ace, I guess was their ace this year, but Sonny Gray's 10-5 this season, a 4.21 ERA. His last start was very ace-like. 7 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run allowed there, and a 3-2 win at the Dodgers. But start for that struggled a little bit against Miami in a 5-0 loss. Got shelled by the Padres, shelled by the Diamondbacks. Not a guy that I have a ton of faith in. I'll put it that way. So definitely worried about Sonny Gray out there. Definitely a little bit worried about that Cardinals bullpen, although a 3.64 bullpen ERA, certainly not the end of the world. The offense coming off a 1-run game is in a little bit of a bounce back spot, but this team has not been nearly as good at the plate down the stretch this year. They're 14th in runs scored, 12th in batting average, 21st in slugging percentage after getting off to an absolutely bonkers level start to the year at the plate. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, I'm kind of shocked. The Cubs are minus 125. The Cardinals are plus 105. A total of 7.5 or 8 out there. The Cubs are 31-27 on the road, 30-24-4 to the over on the road. The Cardinals are 33-25 at home, 30-24-4 to the over at home. You could just go along with those trends and take over 7.5 in this game. I wouldn't have a huge problem with that, but much better than the total in this game, guys. I'll just take the Cubs here at minus 125. Imanaga's going to go out there and be lights out. Sonny Gray, you never know what you're going to get on a night-to-night basis. I don't think the Cubs bullpen is that much worse than the Cardinals, and their offense is clearly infinitely better. Definitely give me the Cubs on the road in this one. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Hit that like button for good luck on all your bets, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. My apologies for the technical difficulties that made the audio and visual off sync there for most of the video. We should have that issue fixed for the next video. I would assume it's never been a problem before. Hopefully it'll never be a problem again. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate or any advice you have on fixing that problem. Thanks for watching. Click the link in the description. Get over there to stumpthespread.com. Check out all the great premium content that's getting pumped out there every single day covering, we got more sports coming, guys. NFL preseason in full swing, UFC. I know there's a crazy huge slate tonight, and definitely, getting in on those MLB premium picks that had a very good day there yesterday. So yeah, guys, we'll see you over there. We'll also see you right back here tomorrow, same time, same place for more sports betting action.